Coaches, it's that time of year where everybody tweets about all the 6'1" basketball players who should be playing football so they can get drafted to the NFL. If you want to stop having to use that argument and learn how to get basketball players to play football, stay tuned to today's video. All right, guys, welcome back to the 92 Meshgroup channel, your home on the internet for the air raid offense. This is Coach Coltharp coming to you again today, and I'm really excited about today's video. We're going to talk about getting basketball players excited about playing football in high school. And if these are the kind of videos you like and you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed and you want to learn more about the air raid offense and things like that, I would love if you'd hit that button down there, subscribe to the channel, click that little bell so you know when we go live. We try to do about 3 to 4 videos a week, especially during the off season, and we're really excited about where we're going with the channel right now, because in 15 days, we will hit our 1-year anniversary. I'm so excited and appreciative for the support you guys have given the channel, the support that you've given our courses on CoachTube, and just everything involved with 92 Meshgroup. So I can't thank you enough. So enough of all of that. Let's jump in the video. All right, guys, so we're sitting over in the presentation today, and we're going to talk about getting those basketball players excited about playing football in high school. And this isn't like going to be a really, really long video, because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to share with you are things that you already know. I'm just going to share with you how I address those things. We're going to start off by identifying what I think are some of the major issues in getting them to play, and then how I try to solve those issues. So here, let's just jump into it right now, and we'll get into it. So like the first one that I think is a huge issue for basketball players in high school in particular is this year-round playing schedule. Okay, AAU basketball, summer league basketball, they play in the spring, they play in the summer. They, obviously they don't play too much in the fall, but most of them are kind of getting ready for their season in the fall. So that year-round playing schedule is something that you're going to have to understand and be able to address if you're going to work with those basketball guys. Secondly, this is a major one, outside influences. I coached a kid one time whose dad just told him he was going to be the best point guard in the history of the world. And, he was 6 foot, 6'1", and it just didn't work out for him. He ended up becoming an All-American wide receiver at Middle Tennessee State, kid named Anthony Amos. Anthony, when he was in 7th, 8th, 9th grade, his AAU coaches told him he was going to be a great basketball player, and he was. He was a really good high school basketball player, but football became his issue, and we were able to get him to come out and play football. And then the coach that followed me after I left that school really showed him how to blossom. But getting him out there, I think, was the major issue. So outside influences are really important. You got to understand who are the stakeholders in that kid's life, and that's called building a relationship. And if you're not doing that with your players, you're in trouble anyway. So you just have to learn how to build those relationships. You're just not good. If you're taking over a program that's just not good, that's going to be a problem in getting the basketball players to come play. Nobody wants to play on a losing team. Okay, so you have to convince them that you're going to have a good program, you're going to do things the correct way. So but that's a major issue that you have to address. You have unrealistic expectations. What they think that they're supposed to be able to do versus what they're gonna do, or all of a sudden, if you're a wing T coach and you tell a basketball player to come out there and he thinks he's gonna want to play, and catch 15, 20 balls a game and things like that, obviously that's not gonna happen. So those unrealistic expectations, or the fact that he thinks that there's no sense in me playing football because I'm gonna get a basketball scholarship to an ACC school, and he's a junior in high school and hasn't been recruited by anybody yet. So those kind of unrealistic expectations, and of course the one that everybody likes to use, the 6'3" power forward who doesn't have any shot from the wing, who thinks he's going to go play D1 basketball. Those unrealistic expectations hurt. And then probably one of the biggest ones is they just don't know you. The only time you talk to them is you're talking to them about football. Hey, you don't want to come play football? Don't you want to come play football? Those are major issues that you have to learn how to address if you're trying to get those basketball guys to come out. So what are some of those solutions? Well, the first thing that I like to do is I like to go to the games. Go to the basketball games. Find yourself there. When you're the head football coach, you need to be at the basketball games, especially Friday night games. That's when everybody comes. Tuesday, we play Tuesday, Friday in North Carolina, so Tuesday night games usually aren't as crowded. But the Friday night games, the community's out there. It gives you a chance to not only see the basketball guys and the basketball guys to see you, but you also get to make some connections with people in the community, because they're going to come up to you in the game and ask you about the season or what your plans are. So if you're not going to basketball games, I promise you're not going to get the basketball guys to play. Now, I already know somebody in the comments is going to say, well, Coach, I'll never go, but I get all these guys to play. Look, man, there's exceptions to all of this. This is just my opinion. And, my my opinion is just that. So in the comments down below, if there's something that you do differently than what I'm doing, let us know. Put it in the comments. Let's get a discussion started, because this is what's good for football, not just for us. You got to talk to them about basketball. You know, hey man, I saw you come off that pick and roll last night, man. That was sweet, or that crossover was good. You know, or go in the gym when they're shooting ball and go over there and shoot a shot with them and say, man, look, my shot broke. That's why I coach football. You know, talk to them about basketball. Ask them what they like about basketball. If you got a kid that likes to drive to the basket and dunk on people and try to be physical, I promise you that kid can play football. He'll want to play football because you talk to him about jumping over people, catching touchdowns, and doing things like that. But you got to talk to them about basketball first. Get them to know that you care about what it is that they love. Okay? Don't just come and say, well, look, man, you're not real good. So, you know, you're 6'3" and you're a power forward, bro. You need to play football. You know how many D1 wide receivers, you know, are 6'2" versus how many D1. You know, don't do that. I know that's what everybody wants to talk about. Well, you know, this guy, you know, you're a 6'3" forward, but you could be a 6'3" wide receiver. Yeah, you could, but you're also telling him he's not good enough. And do you really want a kid who thinks he's not good enough on your team? No, go highlight his basketball skills and talk to him about what he is. And then in a roundabout way, explain to him that he has other options in other sports. Like I said, don't highlight what they aren't. You know, don't tell them what they aren't, man. Too many guys that turns them off, because it means right now you don't have faith in them to think they're good enough. Okay, you know, I've had several guys who were 6'1", 6'2", who come play football for me and who ended up being pretty good football players, who were also really good high school basketball players. And here's the thing that everybody needs to understand. It's okay to just be a good high school basketball player. It's okay to just be a good high school football player. Okay, only what 3% are going to college to play football anyway. So if you tell that kid, yo, you can come play, you can go D1 and all that stuff, the minute he doesn't go D1, guess what? You lied to him. And kids can see right through that. So you don't want to use that argument. You can just highlight, hey, these guys do this, these guys do that. You look like one of these guys, and I think if you put the work in, you'd have an opportunity maybe to do that. And the big thing is you got to have systems that are basketball friendly. Okay, one of the reasons why I went to the air raid offense was one of the major reasons why I went to the air raid offense is I was wanting to get the basketball guys to come play football. I couldn't get them to come if I tried to turn them into tight ends. They don't want to put their hands on the ground and block down on people and do those kind of things. But if I can spread you out and flex you out, and here's the other part of that. In the air raid, you got 4 guys who are flexed out most times. That means there's more reps, more balls to be caught. So guys are going to want to come. Trust me, they're not going to want to come if you're handing the ball off 25 times and throwing it 3 times. Okay, so if you're trying to go get these guys who are good athletes out in space, these wing guys who can do things, you need to have systems who are friendly to basketball. And that's what air raid is, because air raid is basketball on grass. I can't tell you how many times I've told kids, hey man, go post up right here. And I use basketball terminology when I teach the offense. So make sure your systems are friendly if you're going to go after these cats. Because if you're not, if you're a wing T guy, don't go out there and think you're going to get a basketball player to come stock block for you, because he's just not going to do it. It's just not in their nature. And be honest with them. Say, hey, look, man, I think you have an opportunity to do this. I think you have the skill set to do this. I think it gives you another opportunity if this basketball thing don't work out. So just be honest with them, but don't sit there and tell them that they'll never do something, so they should do this, because I think that's just the wrong approach. I never like telling a kid what he can and cannot do. So I never tell them, well, you're not going to be big enough to go D1. I just say, hey, look, man, you look like a kid that plays, up here. Do you know who so-and-so is? You know who Allen Iverson is? Well, yeah, coach, I know who Allen Iverson is. Yeah, he was the best football player in the history of Virginia. What? For real? And then you show him tape. Hey, did you know LeBron was an all-state wide receiver? Yeah. Did you know that 29 out of the guys who got drafted in the first round in NFL were multiple sport athletes? Well, yeah. Well, none of that matters, because, 1% is going to the NFL. So even bringing up the NFL, it kind of sets you up for not being able to follow through to what you say. So just talk to them about what their ideal set is, their skill set in basketball. Look at them and tell them the truth. Give them an opportunity to say, hey, look, man, don't you want to come out here on Friday night? Look, the band don't go to basketball games, but it comes to football games. There's 500 people in the gym, where there's 2,000 people out on Friday night. Man, come shine in front of everybody. And then when the winter rolls, you can come in here and do the same thing. And just know that, look, I'm going to take care of you. I'm not going to make you, the rules are such now that you only have to do it anymore. I think we're allowed to hit like 15 minutes a week now. I mean, it used to be you could hit all day, but so you don't even have to worry about that anymore. But you talk to them about how you're going to take care of them at practice. Hey, look, man, I'm not going to be running you across the middle, getting you crushed and stuff like that. And you better make sure the basketball coach understands that too, because if the basketball coach is on your side, you got a big chance. And one of the things that I do with my basketball coaches is I always tell them, hey, listen, man, what are your summer schedules? You know, notoriously in North Carolina, at the end of the school year, they have a 2-week window where they have summer team camp. We do no football activities during summer team camp, because I don't want kids to have to choose between football and basketball. I sit down with the basketball coach, find out when they're going to the team camp, and I make a decision as an adult with another adult that we're not going to put kids in a bind. The other thing that we do is that because, you know, a lot of them play travel league in the summer and in the evenings and things like that, we always practice football in the mornings. We practice football in the mornings, and they can go do basketball or summer baseball or whatever in the evenings. So as the football coach, if you show flexibility with the other sports, I promise you those coaches will be on your side and help you get those athletes to play. Because I promise you this, no basketball coach wants his kid doing nothing in the fall. They want them with a coach who's going to make sure they're staying out of trouble. They love the fact that they get physical, especially if you're taking care of them. And these are just a few ways that I do it. All right, guys, I hope today's video gave you some great information on how I kind of get basketball players to come out to play football. I'm not the know-all tell-all. I've just been doing this for a while, and I've always had some success in getting basketball guys to come out, man. But if you really appreciated the video, please make sure you like it. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. There's a couple of video suggestions right over here that you might want to check out that will give you some more information about the air raid offense. And as always, spin it to win.